Hi there, Sprinter owners. Today in your 2013 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, we're going to be installing SumoSprings Solo Custom Helper Springs for the rear axle. And this is what our SumoSprings look like when they're installed. They replace our factory jounce bumper and install in the exact same location. Here you can see our factory jounce bumper side by side with our new SumoSpring jounce bumper, and you'll instantly notice that the SumoSpring is considerably larger. Another thing you'll notice is that when you remove this jounce bumper, the jounce bumper wasn't touching the axle below it. There was a gap between them. Our new SumoSpring is touching the axle and the frame above it, constantly providing some support. Whereas our factory jounce bumper only provided support once the suspension has reached its maximum travel and gone all the way up. This typically results in a thud and a feel on the inside that's uncomfortable. The SumoSpring gradually compresses itself to offer that load carrying capacity throughout the suspension travel, easing it in place, preventing any of those thuds that you get when the axle comes up and touches your jounce bumper. What this means for you is your SumoSprings are going to constantly be providing up to 2,000 pounds of load carrying support for your vehicle. Now this doesn't increase the capacity of your vehicle to haul, just how much it can help support. The constant support they provide is going to help reduce sway because they're always going to be working with one another to push the vehicle back towards center. And it's going to help reduce body roll when you're making turns. As the spring compresses, it's going to gradually increase the pressure to help push back to bring the vehicle back upright. So for you, you're going to have more confidence driving your motorhome because you're going to have less body roll to compensate for. You're going to feel safer going down the road, and you're going to have more energy when you get to your destination because you weren't fighting the steering wheel so much, trying to keep it going straight down the road. All of your passengers are also going to appreciate the softer, more luxurious ride that they're going to provide as well. Customers on our website compare these to Timbren's suspension enhancement system. The Timbren is very similar to the SumoSpring. It replaces your jounce bumper and it goes right in the similar location. The Timbrens often have a much stiffer rubber, which results in a less comfortable ride. It's a little bit more bouncy, a little bit more thuddy, kind of like your factory jounce bumper was. The upside to the Timbrens is they have a higher carrying capacity, typically between 5,000 pounds and higher. Another product customers compare these to is airbags. Airbags will offer similar carrying capacity to your SumoSprings here, but they're going to be adjustable. You can increase or decrease the amount of pressure in your airbags to adjust for the load on your vehicle. What's nice about that is if you put more components inside your vehicle that's weighing it down, you can just add some air pressure to help level it out. SumoSprings don't have the ability to adjust for varying loads, so they can't really be used to help level something back out, but they offer all the other benefits that you get from the airbags. What I like about the SumoSprings over the airbags is that they're completely maintenance free. Once you install it, you can forget about them. They're going to do their thing and they're always going to be there. Airbags will have air pressure that varies with temperature and humidity, and you're constantly going to have to be checking those to make sure that it's going to be appropriate and they're even from side to side if your loads are even. So if you want something that's going to be installed once and good to go every time, this is going to be your best option. They're also significantly easier to install than airbags. I'll go ahead and show you that now. We'll begin our installation by removing our jounce bumpers. They'll have one on both the driver and one on the passenger side. To give you a little more room to work, I recommend that you jack up the back of your vehicle, and this will give you a larger gap between your frame and your rear axle, so you have more room to work. It'll make it easier to get your jounce bumpers removed, your factory ones, and you're also going to need this room to get your new ones installed as they are much larger. We're on a lift, so we're using a pole jack, but a floor jack will work just fine if you're doing this at home on the ground. We're going to use some silicone spray on each side to help ease it out, as this is just a pressed in jounce bumper. You can then take a pry bar, and we're just going to put it between our rear sway bar here and the jounce bumper, and we're just going to pry it right out of the socket. We'll do the same thing with the other side, and we're ready to install our new ones. We'll take our new jounce bumper. I like to put a little bit of spray lubricant on each side, and then you want to check and look at there, because one of the notches is going to be longer than the other notch. You can see that this hangs off further on this side. This is going to go towards the front. We'll then take our spring, we're going to set it in place, lining up the front notches first. So we'll push those in place, and you can see it slides all the way forward like that. Then we can get our back ones in. The back ones, you want to start on one side and push it up in there. I'm using a pry bar to help me push it. And once you get it to pop in place, just make sure that it's fully seated, you can't pull it out, and that it's centered. And then we can do the same procedure on the other side. Now it's a pretty tight fit, but that's how it's supposed to be, as the pressed fit is what keeps your Sumo springs in place. Now that we've got both in place, you're all set. And that completes our installation of SumoSprings Solo Custom Helper Springs for the rear axle on your 2013 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter.